Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to check in on Black Bolt and White Flare. They're out in Japan, they've been out in Japan for a couple of weeks now. So the question is, what's going on with prices? Are those black and white rares still as ridiculous as they were initially? What is going on? How are things changing? And luckily, I've done a bit of digging, and I can totally tell ya. Now, first off, a couple of cards that have fallen out of the top 10. We've got ourselves the Genesect Special Illustration Rare. Last time we talked, it was at number 10 at 6,000 yen. It's now dropped to 2,800 yen. And yes, anyone paying attention will notice we are less than half here. We've had a more than 50% drop. So, sorry about that. If anyone's wondering, 2,800 yen is about 19 bucks. Still a decent amount for a special illustration rare, but not great. The other one that's dropped out is Meloetta. That was at number 8 last time we spoke. That's dropped from 8,000 yen to 3,500 yen and has dropped out entirely. And we're looking at about $24 for this one. Those two cards were in. They are now out. And that means we've got a couple new cards in at the bottom. Superior is sneaking in at 3,500 yen, which is about $24. Now, I know some of you are looking at that going, wassy. Come on, mate. You just told us that Meloetta was out at 3,500 yen. Now you're telling us Superior is in at 3,500 yen? Yes. These could absolutely flip-flop, but right now Superior is trending a little bit higher. In at number 9, an interesting new entry, the Master Ball Victini, which is in at 3,800 yen. 3,800, you're talking about $26. And this is interesting because last time we did this list, none of the Master Balls managed to force their way into the top 10 list. Now, this is only one. It is the highest one, and it's in at number 9, so let's not go over the top here. But then, by the same token, we're still getting one of the Master Ball in the top 10 list. I find that extremely interesting. Oh, and just like Superior, this is from Black Bolt. You might notice a little bit of a theme here. Just like in at number 8, also from Black Bolt, we got the Kyurem Special Illustration Rare. Now, this has actually dropped from number 7 last time. Last time it was 8,000 yen. Now it's 4,200 yen. That's about $29. It's also pretty much a 50% drop. All three of the ones where I've told you the difference is here, we've seen somewhere in the region of a 50% drop. Prices have generally halved as we're going along here. That is pretty big. Not as big as we're going to see, though. Kyurem is a standard kind of special illustration rare. It's not hideously playable. It's not that special. It's fine, but it's still a legendary Pokemon, so come on. Now, in at number 7, the smallest drop we've seen so far, it's Hydreigon Special Illustration Rare. Now, it's gone down from 6,500 to 4,500. 4,500, if you're interested, is about $31. But this one's actually gone up 2 spots. There's only 2 cards on this top 10 list that have gone up. This is one of them. And essentially, there's 2 things going on here. Firstly, you take an extra prize when you KO a basic Pokemon. That's interesting. But secondly, look at the artwork for this one. This is one of those cards that I do think is just special. Takumi Wada absolutely knocking it out the park. And don't get me wrong, we've still seen a drop of about a third, 6.5k to 4.5k, but it's a smaller drop than most and it's gone up by 2 places, so just putting that one out there. Now, the biggest drop we see here is actually from N's Plot, which is down 1 place, gone from 5th down to 6th, but it's gone from 24,000 yen to 9,000 yen. That's a 63% drop, nearly 1/3 of what it was before, a 2/3 drop. That is huge. N's Plot, don't know what's going on with this one specifically. it is not holding. Now, maybe it's the fact that playability-wise, it's not that good of a card. Lets you move a couple of energy from your bench Pokemon to your active. Maybe it's not good enough that way. Maybe people aren't loving the artwork. This one is very surprising to me. And that means, I should say, by the way, we're at 9,000 yen here. So the current price of this card, you're talking about $62. Still fine, but that is a huge drop from 24k. And essentially what's happened is Hilda's jumped it. Hilda's gone from 22,000 to 15,000, which is still a sizable drop. That is pretty much exactly a third. Sitting there at 15,000 yen here, so that's a $103 card. But essentially, N's gone down by 15,000 yen, and Hilda's only gone down by 7, and that means that Hilda's actually able to jump up here. And I think this is probably a playability thing, as well as a, hey look, there's a bunch of different Pokemon, we all have cards with lots of different Pokemon. So one that lets you search for an evolution Pokemon and an energy, and you can see why this is sneaking into decks, and will continue to do so. So keep an eye on Hilda. And we're exactly where we were, incidentally, pretty much last time. The bottom of the list is dominated by Black Bolt, but now we're working in pairs, and essentially in all three of the pairs, White Flare wins. Hilda versus N, Hilda's from White Flare, Hilda now winning by a decent margin, honestly, 2/3 higher than N's plot. So in at number 4, the special illustration rare Zekrom, it's gone from 32,000 yen down to 23,000 yen. So we've got a drop here of 9,000 yen, which represents a 28% drop. And it's sitting there at 23,000 yen. It's still a decent chunk of change. You're still talking about $160. But it is a significant drop-off from where we were before. Now, interestingly enough, if we have a look at the metagame over in Japan right now, Zekrom is better than Reshiram. At least in terms of playability, at least in terms of numbers, Zekrom is doing better than Reshiram. And I mean, Zekrom's on the metagame, Reshiram's kind of isn't. At least in terms of its own deck. But yet, in terms of prices, Reshiram absolutely winning here. Because in at number 3, we got the special illustration rare Reshiram. This has gone down 10k from 35 to 25. So it's currently sitting there at 25,000 yen. And that is about $172. If anybody's wondering, the 10,000 yen drop represents about a 29% drop. So when I say these prices are coming down significantly, I mean these prices are coming down significantly. But the people have spoken, they like Reshiram more than Zekrom. It's just there for all to see. So what does that mean? Well, obviously 1 and 2 are the black and white rares. I've already kind of given it away. In at number 2, we've got Zekrom, which has dropped, but it's a tiny drop. It's gone from 50k to 48k, which represents a 4% drop. It has gone down, but it's gone down by 4%. 48,000 yen, if anybody's wondering. You're talking $245. Still a very big card. Not a big drop, though. Only a 4% drop. What does that mean as number 1? Well, obviously, it's the Reshiram black and white rare. It's gone from 55 down to 48, which represents a 13% drop. So slightly bigger. But it's still sitting there, well, kind of above. Because it's 48,000 yen, which is $330. But you may have noticed Reshiram and Zekrom are both at about 48,000 yen here. And essentially, what happened was, they've just evened up. These cards are both absurdly rare. They are both at about the same point. So there's no real difference between them. Playability-wise, like I say, Zekrom is ahead, but honestly, that doesn't really matter when you build in the fact that the majority of people, the vast majority of people, aren't playing with these cards. These are cards for collecting. And they're very, very rare. And essentially, we got to the point where we've all just gone, you know what? Yeah, about the same, mate. About the same. So there we go, bit of movement down the bottom, and a lot of this list is the same as it was before, especially the top 4. But the big news is big price drops. The biggest mover is End's Plot. Huge drop down there, more than a 60% drop. And nothing's gone up. Zekrom has only gone down by 2k. Hilda has kind of jumped N, which is quite impressive, I suppose. But everything is going down, and a lot of them are going down significantly. But I've told you all about it now. So now it's over to you guys. Tell me which cards you're after. Tell me which cards you're waiting for in English. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Danger Morales, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.